In the past 6 months, I have been working relentlessly on a new blindfolded 70-star world record in Super Mario 64. The route has evolved drastically, new time saves have been discovered and major strategies have been swapped in and out of the run. With this video, I want to give you a quick overview of all the exciting updates to the route and where we currently stand after months of grinding. The recent 70-star grind started right after I got my sub 20 in blindfolded 16-star back on October 2nd, 2024. My initial plan was the following. In Blindfolded, we have some other main categories besides 16 and 70 star, namely 31 star and 50 star. These are intermediate categories for those who want to do a bit more than 16 star, but still are not ready to face the daunting length and difficulty of a 70 star run. My goal was to slowly relearn and especially optimize all the stars first for 31 star, improve the world record there, then move on to 50 star, optimize all the new stuff there, improve the world record, and finally learn and optimize the remaining 20 stars for 70. This way, the learning process would not be so overwhelming for me. At least, that's what I thought. Anyways, let us start with the first portion of the grind, 31 star. This is an old any percent category before Mipsclip was found. It has the same rule set as 16 star, but you need to unlock Fire Sea, the second Bowser stage, the legitimate way by collecting 30 stars. Since most of the category is included in 16 star, the world record there was bound to fall rather fast. When I started the grind, the record stood at a time of 39 minutes and 18 seconds. I didn't really have a goal time, but I knew that something around the 35-minute line would be probably an insanely good run. So I started up my game and reloaded most of the stars for this category. Every star in 31 star is located in the lobby or basement area, so all the optimizations made here would represent the first third of a full 70 star run, what we would call early game now. During the routing process, 2 stars in particular seemed like the new shining champions among time saves, and funnily enough, both of them are located in Lethal Lava Land. The first one was the infamous Lava Boost, a strategy usually reserved for visual top runners. I've proven before in 2023 that it would be theoretically possible to do this trick while blindfolded, but it was way too inconsistent to ever use during speedruns. Well, that was until I sat down one more time and played with some lock cam setups. It turned out very quickly that this idea had lots of potential. After hours and hours on end of brute forcing different beat counts and scientifically calculating the angles needed for the lava bounces, I finally created a strategy that seemed to work. I tweaked it a bit more to be safer for runs, and yeah, now we do lava boost in blindfolded speedruns. That is absolutely insane development that I would have never seen coming. The second one is the tiny bully star. This one was already once in 2023 considered for 70, but the sheer difficulty of it was not really suited for runs. And even now when I came back to the grind in 2024, it seemed impossible to figure out. After weeks of failing to find a good solution for this star, countless members of the community came together with different ideas like Dasabite and Lucifer, and we eventually found a strategy that is both fast and consistent. Because of that, on day 22 of the grind, I finally got a first successful attempt in a run. Feels good, man. With these and many more small optimizations, I improved the 31 star world record first by only a few seconds with a 39:02 on October 29th, and then with a huge PB on November 18th with a final time of 36 minutes and 53 seconds. This is the still currently standing world record at the time of this video. I know that there is much more time to save in this category, but I wanted to move on for now. My reasoning was as follows. During the 70 star grind, I will probably still improve as a player and find even more new strategies. That's why I for now moved on and eventually will come back to beat this time again at the end of the 70 star grind. So, we moved on to the second segment of the run, 50 star. 50 star is yet another older main category, which has the rule set of no star door skips. That means you cannot do Mipsclip or the 50 star star door BLJ, but you can still do the BLJ on the endless staircase as it does not skip any door. The world record at the time when I started this year was just over 1 hour long, so obviously the goal became to get a sub-hour run in this category. 50 star introduces 4 new stages in the upstairs section of the run. Wet Dry World, Tiny Huge Island, Tall Tall Mountain, and Snowman's Land. We optimized quite literally most of the stars here, so I will just give you a short breakdown of the most important ones. Tiny Huge Island had some of the biggest new time saves. Let me introduce you to one of my new favorite strats of Blindfolded Super Mario 64. Yes, that's right. It looks incredibly stupid, it is incredibly stupid, but it works. And even better, it saves tons of time and is more consistent than the previous strat. Then we have a brand new 500 IQ strategy for the THI secret star that was found by community member Dasabite. We used to grab this secret here, then find our way to the beach, normalize, get the next secret and finally move on. But Dasabite found a super clever damage boost setup with this flame here, which allows you to run up the steep slope along the wall and the next secret in one go. Also, the final star, THI Plants, which was always a problem star for me, was improved tremendously in both speed and consistency. By using a long jump here, we set up our angle perfectly for a slide kick double kill, and can directly get the star as soon as it spawns. In Tall Tall Mountain, we had some new movement improvements, such as directly jumping to the star here, and using log cam in the box star for a better angle. TTM Reds had the biggest development though. The entire mushroom part is now basically done without normalizing and looks pretty insane, and with this strategy I have managed to beat the single star world record by around 10 seconds. In Snowman's Land, we have a new beginning for the head star using a clever lineup for a triple jump into log cam, which later also sets the angle perfectly up for the wall kicks afterwards. And we also have a new lake strat that instantly grabs the star box, which, to be fair, already is outdated again at the time of this video since it actually sucks. The funniest part, however, is that the biggest strat development is actually not for 70 star, but for 120 star. Remember in 2022, when I tried to beat Blindfolded 120 star for the first time? There was a particular star in Tiny Huge Island that really gave me a hard time, and it was actually the reason the second attempt died altogether because I lost more than an hour to it alone. I'm speaking about the Cooper race. A star that required perfect execution in order to win the race, flawless RNG from the random balls going all over the place, and extremely precise and long counting. What if I told you that we have found a strat that is not only fast, but also 100% consistent and without any randomness to it? Look at this beauty of a strat. There is a lot to unpack here, but I want to make a full video just breaking all of this down in the near future, so subscribe if you don't want to miss it and look forward to it. On November 29th, I managed to snatch a new world record by a measly amount of 6 seconds. Yes, 6 seconds in a 1 hour speedrun. And then, on 10th of December, I got a run. And Jesus Christ, it was a run. Back up, dude, back up. Yes, dude, what the This is the most insane world record I've ever set, dude. What is this run? What the What did I just do, man? What did I just do? What the hell, dude? What? What? And that marks the end of my 50-star journey. Once again, it can still be improved for sure, but for now I'm moving on to the final goal, 70-star. The main differences between 50 and 70 is the introduction of the Vanish Cap and the Tippy stages, Rainbow Ride and TikTok Clock. Most stars here got an overall as well. In the Vanish Cap stage, we are able to catch a faster cycle on the elevators now, which we call the Omega cycle. In Rainbow Ride, we are just absolutely schmoving through the stage, and in TikTok Clock, we had a full-fledged renaissance happening. Every single star here got a complete reroute, as we no longer go through the right side, but the slightly faster but more difficult left side in the beginning. We also found some new strategies in many older stages that we now revisited as we needed more stars for the route, like for example in Wet Dry World, where we had a revolution with many strats because of a new approach of how we activate the switch here. However, this means it all got a bit harder as well. And man, 70 star is brutal. I knew it from previous grinds in the past, but I got reminded really hard once more how hard and mentally taxing this category is. It is such a long and exhausting category with a ton of difficult and even frame perfect stars, and you are basically supposed to run without any mistakes at high level. It is not like 120 star where the goal is just completion, but here it is also optimized for speed. And another major issue that arises with the length of it is also the run resets. Because a run takes so long, usually around 1.5 hours. After 1 or 2 resets, I usually didn't have time anymore to do another attempt for the day, as my usually streaming time would be over. And that really gets to you mentally, because you tell yourself all the time that you need to succeed now, otherwise the stream is down the drain for another day. My solution to deal with this was rather simple. I started grinding 1 star as a side activity again when we did not have time for another full 70 star run. But yeah, I still have not talked about the most important aspect about the recent 70 star grind, the actual route. And oh boy, this will be a can of worms to open. You might ask how it took me such an incredibly long time to get back into 70 star. Difficulty is surely one reason, but the other main reason is route changes. I kid you not. To me, it feels like we changed the route, the star orders, stage orders, introduced completely new stars, replaced consistent stars with faster ones, switched back faster ones for more consistent ones, and so on, like literally every single week. It felt like I was running a completely new run that I needed to memorize and learn every time I booted up the game. It really made practice and efficient running super difficult. Honestly, at this point I don't even remember what the original problems of the route were, but the general idea was that we had new stars available, Dark World Reds and LLL Tiny Bullies. These were not existing yet at the time of the old world record, and the world record did some slower stars like BOB Cooper. Furthermore, the old route had a really annoying frame-perfect trick called Penguin Skip in the beginning of the run, which was always a huge reset point. So, we first cutted out CCM Penguin Skip, and because of that also had to remove CCM Reds and CCM Head because they are act bound. For that, we introduced Dark World Reds, LLL Tiny Bullies and BB8 Reds. But then again, we now have THI Cooper, which is pretty good. And we also wanted to route and include Fire Sea Reds into the Diamante Ray. Also, BOB Secrets sucks, so let's take it out. But then, we are missing stars again, so let's do BOB Cooper again. But I failed Dark World Reds like every run. Let's remove it and try something completely different like Rainbow Ride Cruiser. But actually, it's a fast star, even if I die once. And also, screw Lava Boost, I hate that star. Let's go back to the old strat. And the old strat failed in the run, so let's go back to Lava Boost. But what if we skip the Vanish Cap entirely? Then we we would need to get like 5 more new stars, but maybe? And why did we skip CCM Penguin Skip? It was actually not that bad. Let's route it back in. And then we can remove all the inconsistent stars like Dark World Reds and BOB Secrets. But also, screw it all. Why not do all the hard stuff in the beginning of the run and just reset? Also for the memes, I want BOB Cooper and BB8 Reds back in the run. And so on, and so on, and so on, man. This is what my brain looked like in the past half year. And unfortunately, the route is still not really finished at this point. But at least the general shape of it is roughly formed. The main issues that we are currently still facing are the following. Do we include Fire Sea Reds, a new star I routed for 120 star that would save roughly 30 seconds in the run, but would also mark a new hardest star, even more difficult than the infamous Dark World Reds? And secondly, do we go for a one-shot attempt at DDD Manta and either get a super fast star or lose 20 seconds and back it up with DDD Vanish Cap by diverting into the tunnel and continuing it from there? In any case, I grinded the hell out of this run. Every day of my streams I was banging my head against new challenges, new routes, new optimizations, and it was an incredibly rough journey. The run attempts did go horribly for a long time. My patience was close to the end with all the route bullshit, but then, after persisting for months, it eventually all started to slowly click. When I started this grind at the end of October 2024, the world record of Blindfolded 70 star was sitting at the time of 1 hour and 25 minutes. Then, starting around February 2025, the practice started to slowly pay off. First, I got a couple of pacers that all died somewhere in upstairs or tippy. I even had a 1 hour 14 minute pacer out of SL, which was considered a god run at the time, and for a while I couldn't even get close to that anymore. But then, on February 21st, I finally got a run going where things went decently right for the first time in months. The run finished with a final time of 1:22, a new world record by 3 whole minutes. And while that was a massive achievement, from recent pacers I simply knew that I can still do so much better. My goal was a sub 120 minute time, and nothing else would satisfy me at this point. And just as expected, after a couple of frustrating days with more failed runs, I finally got past all the difficult stars once more and got yet another huge world record. The final time was 1 hour, 20 minutes and 12 seconds. Only 12 seconds away from my goal time. While I at that point was already really satisfied with my performance and was mentally really ready for a well-deserved break, I obviously went full speedrunner mode and tried even harder in the following days. And magic really did happen. Slowly, all the hard stars became more and more consistent. Run killers seemed like just another difficulty spike, but nothing too serious. The route was mostly settled, so I didn't have to worry about it too much anymore and could just focus on running and improving myself. And all of the days, weeks, months of practice all led me to the 19th of March 2025. Funnily enough, I was in the middle of a no reset week, where I would simply do a single 70 star run without resetting no matter what mistakes I make. This was a plan of mine in order to improve my consistency with the late game a bit more. And to hell with it, I performed a no reset run. The best one the world has ever seen. Please let me be done with this category, dude. Yes! Yes! No. 1 hour and 16 minutes. No reset. An absolutely phenomenal time that not only reached my goal of a sub 20, but outright demolished it beyond repair. I cannot overstate the amount of relief that I felt after this run. Half a year of my life, I was trying my utmost best every single day to conquer this world record, and all the hard work and patience with it paid off once with this beautiful run. You can check the whole run on YouTube, it's uploaded and available to watch if you're interested to see the whole thing. But damn, what a journey it was. At the time of this video, I have already started my next big grind, which is yet again 120 star blindfolded. However, I still continued running 70 star now and then, and now that over a month has passed, I still haven't gotten another sub 120 time. This shows how incredibly difficult this category is and how amazing the world record I set truly is. There is definitely potential for more time save and I will very likely come back to it to crush it once and for all, but that will wait a bit until we have gotten even better at the game. Because one thing is clear, even after 8 years of running Super Mario 64 blindfolded, I'm still getting better and better every single day. Every day I stream, I feel like I learned something new and that I have improved. And to me, that is the biggest motivation ever. Blindfolded Mario just keeps on giving, and I do not plan to stop until I reach my true final form. And most importantly of all, I want to thank you all for the support in the last 8 years. It's been a long time since I started Blindfolded Mario, and it changed my life so incredibly much for the better. Thank you so much. Also huge shoutouts to my patrons, Bob Farrell, Benlitz, Boris, ZXMany, KingReubs, Sara, and all the other ones as well. With that, I say goodbye and see you next time with Blindfolded 120 star. Bye bye.